Carl Frampton, look at those guns.
They're big, aren't they? Someone else said that earlier on. This is made lightweight. The gun show.
I mean, these are guns of a welterweight.
Yeah, they're big for a wee man. People often describe it as like, you see a wee midget has big arms. That's what they say, but yeah.
I mean, you're obviously a pure athlete. So tell me, when you first heard mumblings that this fight, that your opponent is going to pull out and you'd have to have another opponent, was it sort of just, here we go again?
Well, it was frustrating, to be honest, and it got to a point where I was thinking, like, what is going on? I remember speaking to my missus, and when we were having the visa issues with the original opponent, and she's saying, like, what? Like, your luck has got to change at some point, and that's what I was thinking the whole time. And I knew we were going to get someone. I knew that Darren had been training. Darren Traynor had been training for about, I think, 4 or 5 weeks on the chance that there was going to be issues with his opponent. So I think that something that evens the playing field out a wee bit is he's been training for 5 weeks for me. I haven't been training for him because when I got news that I was going to fight him, my training camp had finished. So that kind of evens it up a wee bit.
And we're at lightweight as well, so tell me about that, because that sounded like that suits him, and it feels like it's a bit of a win for him that the fight's happening at that weight.
Yeah, well, he thinks that as well, though. But I walk around. I'd say I walk around as heavy as him. Like, it's not as if I've been out fighting at lightweight. I'm not eating pizza or crap all week. Like, all I've had today is a 3-egg frittata. I'll eat a little bit more later on. So I'm not the biggest lightweight in the world, but it's not as if it's an absolute gift for me to make it. I'm within striking distance of the weight now, but I think that 135, well, I think if he thinks it's going to suit him, I think it suits me too.
He's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Is this not the most dangerous sort of guy to go in with?
They always are, and these are one of the fights that have me most nervous. I think that when you're expected to beat people and just blow them away, really, which a lot of people are expecting me to do here, it brings like just a different sense of nerves and pressure, and I need to be able to deal with that. I think I will be able to deal with it. I'm not going to be complacent here at all. I will look to put in a performance that's enough to beat this guy, but I want to do it well. I don't want to just get over the line here. I want to beat him, and I want to look good doing it, and then we can talk about Jamel Herring and other fighters.
You gonna miss your fans on Saturday?
Of course, I think everyone is. You know, it'll be strange, and people keep asking what's it like or what's it going to be like. I don't know what it's going to be like. I suppose it'll be a bit strange standing on the ramp to no noise. I think once the bell goes, it'll be fine though. You know, you've got a guy across the ring who's trying to knock you out, pretty much. I think that you'll soon quickly forget about having an atmosphere or a fan base there.
It sounds like there's a light at the end of the tunnel now. It sounds like the Herring fight, providing he gets through his fight with Oquendo, you get through yours, that it's going to happen in November. Does it feel real to you yet? Does it feel within reach?
It does, again, but I don't want to be complacent, and I think I can talk more about that after this fight. But you know, you asked me the question about Herring, and I'll answer it. That is the objective: 3-weight world champion, to fight Jamel Herring, to beat him, and go down as probably the best fighter Ireland's ever produced if you become a 3-weight world champion. So that's the goal. But Darren Traynor, first and foremost, have to deal with him, and I have to deal with him in style.
That's big legacy. Big legacy you get there. Tell me this, if you retired today, would you be happy?
I think in, you know, reflecting on my career maybe in 10 or 20 years' time, I would be happy with what I've achieved, but I know there's more. Right now, if I didn't become a 3-weight world champion, because I have it in my head, I know I can do it, I would be disappointed. But you know, if I want to reflect on my career 10, 20, 30 years from now, I think I'll be pretty proud of what I've done. I only wanted to become a world champion, that's all. I didn't even dream ever of becoming a 2-weight world champion and unifying a division and everything else that's went on. So I think I'd be happy at some point.
Talk about 3-weight world champion, that's what you're aiming for, the next goal. You're fighting at lightweight this weekend, Carl. What about 4-weight world champion? What about the likes of Vasil Lomachenko? How about that?
Well, look, it's okay. It's okay making your lightweight debut when, no disrespect to Darren Traynor, when you're fighting someone like Darren Traynor. He's a featherweight going up to lightweight. Lomachenko, I suppose, is a featherweight going up to lightweight, but it's a completely different story. So, yeah, I think 3 weights will do me.
Ex-opponent Leo Santa Cruz, the man who has eluded the 3rd fight with you, he's got a fight with Gervonta Davis. How do you see that going?
I can't see Leo winning. I don't see a way he wins the fight. I think that I was at the fight when he fought Miguel Flores on the Wilder Ortiz undercard, and I was there ringside watching him, and I wasn't that impressed. He's not I didn't think he brought the ferociousness that he once brought to the ring. Flores is a bang average fighter in my opinion as well. Stole a couple of rounds. I just don't see a way that Leo can win the fight. I suppose the better chance he has is the longer the fight goes. But I just can't see him winning it.
Do you rate Gervonta Davis then? Is that part of the reason, or is it just the size?
I rate Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis isn't a huge guy. He's, we were talking about it before. He's my height, maybe even a little bit smaller than me. There's not too many people smaller than me, but he could be. But he's a beast. He's a tank, as they call him. So I think his explosiveness is what's going to win that fight for him. But Leo, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, had a chance. It's just, I would like him to win, but it's hard for me to see a way that he does.
And how does Carl Frampton match up with Giovanni Davis?
I think it's a good fight. I think that he's a quality fighter, an explosive fighter. I think me and Davis is a better fight than Davis and Santa Cruz, a more competitive fight, that's for sure. So, who knows?
Who knows? So Saturday night, big news which is going to come out. Your fight on BT Sport 1 is going to go on just after the Champions League, so could be quite a big audience. You must be pretty happy to know that it's going to go on after the Man City game. Yeah,
look, it's great exposure here on BT Sports, and we're getting exposure in the States as well. So I'm hoping that there's big numbers here watching. We've got a lot of talent on the bill, and it's going to be a good show.
Archie Sharp's also on the show. Now, he seems to be, it feels like Frank's pushing him towards you, and he's pushing him up that WBO route, which could ultimately lead to you. He's the young kid calling everyone out. Do you see any of yourself in him, and what do you think of him?
I like Archie. I think that he's a good fighter, and I think that he's saying all the right things. If you've got to think, if I was in his position, and I would be looking to fight the top guys and get my name out there and get a bit more recognition and ultimately get a world title. So he sees huge fights in front of him. He's still only a young kid, but he's saying all the right things, and that's where he wants to be. I think he's a good fighter. I think that he'll get there one day, but I don't think he does it while I'm around.
Josh Warrington. So I heard you say in an interview the other day that that's the loss that hurts the most. One, why is that? And two, do you think you'll ever fight him again?
Because my performance was bad. I think my decision making in the first couple of rounds was terrible. It was a bad performance. More so than the criticism that came after the fight was I'm on the slide, I'm over the hill. But then the first 3 rounds were just so heavily in Josh Warrington's favour because of the mistakes that I made. It was hard for me to come back, but I came back and I won a few rounds in the middle. I think that a different approach going into the fight, and knowing I didn't think Josh Warrington could hurt me going into that fight, knowing now that he can hurt me, I think it's a different outcome. But again, one fight at a time at this stage. Darren Traynor first, hopefully Jamel Herring, and then we'll make decisions after that.
Prediction for Saturday night, Carl?
To win. I always predict to win. I'm looking for a KO. I want to win by knockout.